Hi everyone, today I'm going to do a review of this photo frame. It's this one here, the NYX motion sensor frame. I finally feel that they've come along a little way at last, because at last they take a good amount of memory. It comes with a 16GB card, and I always liked the idea of having a frame that would keep twisting the photos around for you in a random mode. But the good thing that I like about this frame, compared with the old frames of years ago, is not just that it's a nice HD resolution, but also that it's got a motion sensor, so it picks you up when you come in a room, and you can set the time on for as long as you want, between 5 minutes and an hour. So you can kind of set this thing up to switch itself off when you walk out of the room and to come on when you walk into the room. So I think that's a really good idea. You don't want it just twisting around all the time. So with that idea in mind, I thought, well, actually I fancy one this year. So for our Christmas present we got one. I bought a bracket with it to mount ours to the wall. I'm going to put it up where we've got our little car at the moment, our little American car on there, Route 66. We're going to take that down and put it somewhere else, and it's going to go here instead. Because we sit round the table, I don't know about you, I mean, we sit around and have drinks and stuff like this and have dinners. I thought it would be a good idea to be able to just have our pictures flicking through at random to see, rather than stuffed on a computer somewhere or on a hard drive. You don't get to see them. I thought this would be a good way of us being able to see all our old pictures randomly popping up as and when. So that's why this has come about. So I'm also going to show you how to fit it to the wall. I've got a bracket here. I'll show you how to fit it up first. Obviously, if you don't want to see that bit, you can skip it. If you just want to see the review, I'll tell you the time zone to skip it to. I've got a manual with a bracket here, and it's really good, because I do like the Chinese, the way they say things. Thanks for choosing our products. Enjoy the using. Way. Chinese, or whatever you'd like to call it. Fantastic. But anyway, there you go. That bracket was only £5. So without further ado, I'll show you how to fix the thing up on the wall with a bracket, if you're doing that method first. Okay. First of all, the back plate. I'm going to fit the one to the TV first. There's 4 holes, alright, for the plate, and just line them up. You'll see they line up there. Okay, and we've got 4 bolts here. I'm going to put some washers and stuff on them, and just put them in and screw them up. So we get this on first, and then we're going to measure that so we can line up exactly where to put our wall bracket, which is this one here. If it's going to go around about here somewhere, once we've got our dimensions. Alright, so I'm going to put the back plate on first. Right, so here we have our bracket. Okay, and I've already bolted the TV bracket on, which in our case it isn't, it's a picture frame bracket, but it's the same thing. Bolt it on, you might as well get it on. I prefer to do it that way. This is our wall bracket that's going to go here, and you can tell it's the right way because it's got the 2 slots. And you can actually slide this on if you want. It's the same height though when it lands down as the bracket that's there, to get your measurement. So we know now we just got to measure there to there, from the top of the screen to there, and it's 3.5 inches. So we know now that we want it, there's the top of our screen, we've got to get it 3.5 inches down from there. So if we put a mark now down here, that's got to be the top of our bracket. So if we put a mark 3.5 inches, that's our bracket top. So now we've got a square, get our bracket in the middle of here, in the middle of that line there, and it's got to be right. Now if you wonder what these marks are, we want our screen in the middle of this wall section here, and this is our halfway mark basically. This is where we want the middle of the screen to be, and this is where we want the top of the screen to be. So that's why these marks are here, and that's why that mark there is measured down to 3.5 to be the top of our screen. So that's why that one is there. So it depends where you're having it in your house, but this is where we want ours, right in this little gap here. It's above a radiator, but it doesn't get too hot. We don't have this too high, so it should be fine as long as there's plenty of air around it. But that's where we want it. So that's how to mark the middle of your wall and get it square and get it right for that. All we've got to do now is put our bracket up in place now, get this centred now, get it smack on in the middle for there, and we know this has got to be right for our screen. Okay, so we've got to mark the centre of this now, which is probably the middle of that hole, I dare say, I bet it is, and then mark the screw holes, and we'll drill it. Well, before you think about the bracket, get a level, make sure it's nice and level there, and just put a line along there. You know that's the top of your bracket. And you know then when you line that up, it's going to be square, so when that goes there, you know when that's there, is going to be right. Also, you could put another little line down here to mark it and use the level again. Alright, so if we get the level right again and get him dead on, he was about a bit, there we are, and then just go down like that, and you know, that's it there. That is the centre of that hole, and that is it there. Smack on, get him on there. Now we're ready to put the holes on, actually, which you might as well go like that because that's the holes. I won't bother with boring you drilling it up. You all know how to drill holes in the wall, safety gear, you know that, all the usual stuff. We'll get the bracket on the wall next. Okay then, well, we're ready. We've got our bracket up now. Didn't bother a shade. I had to drill the wall and screw a bracket in. I'm sure you all know how to do that. Now obviously we've got it a bit tight because we've got a bracket above, so make sure you've got clearance to drop it down. I've already measured that mine will drop down, but obviously if you have got something above, you won't be able to drop it down. You'll have to take it out. So do carefully measure your space gap between the top and bottom, simply because if you're up high you won't be able to get the bracket dropped down. I have just measured mine, so I know it goes on, so it's already kind of how to drop in the bracket in its place. Obviously it's still tight for mine, but it does drop straight down like so, and there it is, straight in the bracket. And so the next stage now is I'm going to plug it all in and wire up. There's no need to show you all that, it's just got a transformer and a plug. We're going to switch in and try and hide the wires as best we can, and then we'll go straight through to testing it and showing you how it goes and what we think of it. Well, here we are, is our photo frame up on the wall, and it's quite a nice quality, as you can see. It looks pretty good to me. I've got it set to slideshow. There's all sorts of options. You can have the pictures every 5 seconds to an hour in length on the screen, and you can randomise every single file on there if you want. You can just play a selected file. I'm just playing a selected file at the moment at random. That's just popping through. The scooter looks great, doesn't it? Pretty good. There's things like zoom on it. You can zoom in a bit more. There's an older one of me on a scooter. You can zoom in and do all kind of silly tricks and things and pieces with it. But I think the main thing we're all interested in is, does it look any good? And yes, I'm quite pleased with the view of that. It's quite good. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. It'll play movies, by the way, MPEG-4 movies. It only plays certain formats, but as that's the main one these days, it will play movies, but it has got sound as well. But I only want it probably the same as you to play my photos in random sequence as and when I leave the room. I'm setting it up for 5 minutes. When I leave the room, it will go off, and when I come back in, it will pick me up and stay on. And if it detects no movement within 5 minutes, it will switch itself back off again. And that's the idea about it. That means that it's on when I want it. I can still turn it all off. There's a natty little remote control here. It does all the little functions on there. As I say, it can zoom in and all types of little things and gadgets and bits there that we can do. Really nice little bit of kit. I'll try the zoom for you. There we go. Wait, look at that. So yeah, it's got some nice bits. We'll take it out now. That's what the screen looks like when you take it out back to folders. Alright, and I will bring you up on the screen for the actual main menus. We'll bring those up. Now they are there. That's the edit mode if you want to get to just playing separate folders. The actual camera mode for randomising is there, and the Cine mode. So all in all, pretty good. Quite pleased with it. That's it really. Thanks very much for watching all my videos. You know where to go. Derek and 33. Thanks for watching. Bye.